Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. If you live in the surrounding communities like Brook, Sandbrook Ranch, Windridge, Sutton Fields, you definitely want to stay tuned to this video because we have the real estate numbers for the month of April.
Hey guys, again, this is Gus and Carla here. We are your favorite Dallas realtors. We help many families just like yours buy, sell, relocate, and invest here into the DFW market area. So if you would like to reach out to us, we would love to hear from you and answer any questions that you may have about any of these communities or any of the cities in the area. So our information is going to be right up here. You can text us, you can call us, and we would love to hear from you.
So we have ran the numbers for April for these specific communities. So if you are thinking about purchasing a home in one of these communities, you definitely want to stay tuned to find out what the real estate market is doing. If you are considering selling your home and you already live in one of these communities, you're definitely going to want to know what the market is doing in your area. Reach out to us for more specifics because these are just general numbers. Okay, so keep that in mind. And we are doing April 2023. With Brook, we haven't seen a ton of change. 18 houses sold in April. The average sold price was $487 and the days on the market is 65, so that's not bad at all. That does include new builds and pre-owns, so 65 days is pretty much the average of what we're seeing throughout the DFW Dallas area here in the northern area. So price per square foot is 184. We see that fluctuate back and forth. In the beginning of the year, it started in the 190s and it dropped to the 170s, and now we're in the 184. Still not a huge difference. And the most expensive house that sold here in Brook sold for $638,000, and that was a brand new home.
Brand new build?
Brand new.
Yeah.
So
I think Bloomfield is the probably the last builder that's still building here.
Yes, this was a Highland home though.
That was a Highland home?
This was a Highland.
Okay. I know their model home, it's a Davenport, that's gonna be up for sale pretty soon because their Highland Homes is closing out here in Brook. So stay tuned for that. Might be a good house for you. It's gonna be the model, so it's gonna have tons of upgrades.
Yes.
And we have negotiation power, so reach out to us.
And if you currently live here and want to know more about what your house could be worth, reach out to us too, because it does get kind of technical when you are thinking about selling. You got to look at not just new builds, but you're competing against, what houses with your same square footage are going by. So don't go based off these numbers alone, because one stories could be selling a lot more faster than two stories and vice versa.
Right.
So each house is unique.
Sandbrook Ranch, 15 homes were sold in April. Keep in mind, these are new builds and pre-owned as well. 551,000 is your average price sold. 158 days on the market. Now, again, we reiterate that new builds as well, they put up, their homes on the market on the MLS. And which drives the days on the market up. If you want more information about what the real numbers are, if you are in a pre-owned and are thinking about selling, we can get that information for you. $204 per square foot is your average, and the most expensive home sold in Sandbrook was a new build for $834,000.
So let's move on to Union Park. There wasn't a ton of change over there at Sandbrook. They were pushing their new builds pretty hard last month. Union Park, again, not a ton of change. 25 homes sold. Your average is $529,000. Days on the market is 90. Price per square foot is $196,000. And the most expensive home that sold was $828,000, and that was a new build. Now, this is probably the most expensive home that's sold in quite some time. And I do know that Union Park has a couple of builders that are, I think there's Dries, and they're just very, very custom. They're adding some really high upgrades to these homes, and they sit on bigger lots. So they are doing quite a bit with some of these homes, and that is the reason what it's driving up the prices in this particular community, which is great because I love how you have just such a wide range of prices here. So if you are looking to move into Union Park, don't let that price scare you off. You can get a great looking house that could be $700,000 or $800,000, but you can also get into this amazing community for a much, more economic price of like $500,000, maybe even high 400s with some of the builders like Beazer, who's still building on the smaller lots. So lots to think about, but if you are a homeowner in that particular community and you're wondering what your house is worth, give us a call. We'd love to just run some numbers for you and show you how that applies to your specific home.
All right, let's jump into the community of Windridge. Pretty steady, pretty consistent from previous months. So in the month of April, 10 homes were sold in Windridge. 397,000 was your average priced home sold. Days in the market was 49, your average. And again, what we're seeing here right now is certain price ranges are selling faster than higher end. So anything like 450 below houses are selling much quicker than, say 500, 550, and even the 600s are taking longer to sell. Again, interest rates, they're a little up there compared to what they were, right, a few years back. So 49 days in the market, $178 per square foot. And the new build was the most expensive home sold for $459,000.
Yeah, so Windridge is still a great community to get into if you're looking to move into this area and your budget just is not as high. It doesn't have a ton of amenities, but I think you're in a great area.
Yeah, they have a pool.
They do.
Yeah, they have parks.
They do have some great amenities, but overall, I just want to touch on location. Because even though there isn't a ton of amenities in Windridge, like the location is great, especially knowing that there's going to be a Costco just up the street.
Yep.
And you're going to have HEB.
Right.
And then, we're so close to the PGA, and we're going to be super close to the new Universal themed park.
Right.
So location for Windridge is going to be really great, especially like I said, if your budget doesn't allow for you to get into Sandbrook or Union Park or, Arrowbrook. This is a great starting price in a great location.
Yes, if you can just figure out the traffic situation, it'll be like the perfect spot to be, right?
Yes.
But it's just part of those growing pains, a lot of traffic.
I know there's a petition going on.
A lot of expansion. There is a petition going on putting a rush onto the 1385 expansion.
Do know though that you're getting a great priced home, and when everything is said and done, and everything comes in, I think the value in these homes is going to increase.
Absolutely.
Sutton Fields is next, and they're right in front of us, so over at 1385, although they are Salina, we still like to include them because we do get a lot of calls about Sutton Fields, and we have, quite a bit of friends and clients out there. So Sutton Fields is very unique in fact that it feeds into Prosper ISD. The number of homes that sold in April did go up to 14 from what we've been seeing in the past couple of months. So it's summer, people want to move, people have to move sometimes.
Right. New builds are being done, they're closing on the new builds.
So I think this is what's, kind of driving that number up a little bit. But as far as the average price of homes sold, it's kind of holding steady. It did jump quite a bit from last month, from 428,000 to 534,000, which is more consistent with what we saw earlier on in the year. I do think this is a better number. I think it's a truer number. So that's what the average is right now. Days on the market is average 30. There's not a lot of inventory in Sutton Fields, first off, but the inventory that is there is like 50-50 new builds and pre-owns. So most of the prices are a little bit up there, but they are, the average is 30. So it can take a little bit longer, and some houses are selling a little bit faster. The price per square foot is $196, very consistent. The most expensive home that sold was for $750,000, and that was a new build.
A lot of people do ask us what's going on there at the entrance of Sutton Fields. There's some construction going on. Brand new elementary school for Sutton Fields. So if you live in Sutton Fields or in the area, Sutton Fields because it fits into Prosper ISD. So it's going to be a Prosper ISD elementary school for the Sutton Fields.
Yeah. Yep.
And a fire station for the city of Salina as well. So if you're curious on what's going on there, that's what it is.
Yeah, so you're going to have some great stuff coming your way. And last but not least...
Yes, let's jump into the community of Silverado, which is more, it's not on 1385, but it's more towards downtown Aubrey. And this community feeds into Aubrey ISD.
Yes.
Not Denton ISD. This is Aubrey ISD. So in the month of April, 8 homes were sold versus 18 in March and 36 in February. I know, like we mentioned before, this is just a DR Horton community. So lots of new faces coming up, a lot of new builds. $391,000 is your average price sold. 50 days on the market is your average. $195 per square foot is your average, and the most expensive, the most expensive home sold was a pre-owned for $535,000.
So with Silverado, they have a lot of new faces coming up, which is great. They've got a lot of new builds coming up, but you can still see how some of the pre-owned houses are still selling at a great price. So some of their older phases have a lot of square footage. Some of them have a bigger lot. This is a great community to get into as well if you want to be in Aubrey. And if you already live in Silverado and you're considering selling, if you've been there for over a year, maybe 2, you've got the equity back from 2021, 2022, it could be a great time for you to make a move. And downsize or upgrade, or if you have to move for work related issues, give us a call because we can definitely price those out for you.
All right, guys. Well, those were the numbers here in these communities for the month of April 2023. Keep an eye out. Keep up to date with our videos.
Yes.
For next month, the market right now, it's a little here in May. Beginning of May, it's kind of like, what's going on? Interest rates just went up a little bit more. So a lot of people are kind of like, what's going on with the market? Probably in a correction mode, people say. So I'm curious to see what the numbers for May is going to be. So make sure, guys, to hit the like button. It continues to just to motivate us and continue to do videos like this. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell as well, so you can stay up to date with all of our videos that we post each and every week.
So there you have it, guys. If you have any questions at all, give us a call. If you live in any of these communities, give us a call and drop a comment below. Let us know what you love about your particular neighborhood or your community, because we always like to hear and highlight some of what you guys love the most about them.
All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.